impact of the influence was greater when the age gap was larger between the siblings. I'm Rich.
And I'm Josh.
Make sure your Walkman is at full battery because we're diving into our dad tapes.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for listening to tape number 21 of the dad tapes. Let's get rolling. What are we drinking tonight?
Tonight we have never heard of this brewing company. Tired Hands Brewing Company from Ardmore, PA. Quite honestly, I don't even know where Ardmore's at, if I'm being honest with myself. But it's an Alien Church IPA. That's what they call it. It's a 7% ABV. And I'm excited to try this bad boy.
Yeah, let's get to it. Dude, that's good.
Not too hoppy. For a 7% ABV beer, IPA, it's not too hoppy.
No.
It's crisp. It's nice. It's, I think we say that every freaking episode.
I know, right?
Maybe we just love all beer, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, but this beer is pretty good. What do you think about it?
I like it. I enjoy it. I don't know if I drink it that much, but definitely on an occasion here and there.
Yeah.
But no, it's really cool. I mean, like the whole
the label on the can is awesome, bro.
It's freaking sweet, dude. It kind of makes me want to get one of these tattooed. Like, it's badass looking.
Yeah, it's like snake skin, skull, and it's honestly, I think it's awesome. It's freaking badass.
That's why it's called Alien Church. I mean,
why not, right? Hey, man, I love it.
So how's your week been, man?
Bro, we've been spending some time in Ocean City, and it's been nice. Beach days, getting the kids out, and
good, man.
Dex went from riding his bike on training wheels to riding with no training wheels. So he is absolutely, he's pumped about it, man. In just a matter of like he rode, forever with his training wheels. And in just a matter of like a week, he was like, I want to ride like a big kid. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll try two wheels.
Yeah.
And dude, it took him like 10 minutes and he picked it up that quickly. It was amazing.
Awesome.
It was amazing. And now he's like standing up. He's like trying to jump little curbs and stuff. It's like, dude, like, slow down, man. Like, I get it. And then if he gets hurt, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know how kids are. But yeah, dude, I'm so happy for him. It's awesome, dude.
Let's hope he ends up like me somewhat. With the
let's
BMX aspect,
Let's not hope
without the accident.
Yeah. That's a big one without that. But yeah, man, it's been a pretty decent week, a slow week, but like I said, getting some beach time.
How's the traffic out there right now?
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all. But I stay parked all day, so I don't have to worry about it. I should be asking you that question. How's your week been? How's the traffic been driving around in that dump truck, bro?
Really hasn't been that bad.
Okay.
My dad's away for the week, and
no boss, no boss man around,
no
head
honcho around.
It's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
So I'm kind of trying to keep myself busy.
There you go.
I'm only got a couple deliveries during the day, nothing crazy. So.
It's because he's probably the one loading you up with all these deliveries, and then he wants to complain and bitch about it.
No, yeah, right. Nah, man. I mean, surprisingly, it's been a pretty good week. I know the past couple weeks have been a little rough. I've been kind of dealing with some mental shit.
Mm-hmm.
But got some good looking up here coming soon. So and get myself on a regimen of medication to
good
mellow myself out a little bit.
Important to take care of yourself, bro.
But nah, man. I'm just trying to work on myself a little bit more with my time off that I have for myself. So. I went out on the kayak this week, did some fishing.
Good.
Played some more video games. So, took a couple nice drives,
Good.
But it was pretty good, just counting down the days, man. Counting down the days. The girlfriend comes here. She's going to be here in 9 days.
9 days. It can't be soon enough, can it?
No, You know what? The funny thing is, it didn't seem like it was going at all before when it was in the double digits.
Yeah.
And now that it's hit single digits, it's like flying. It's fucking great.
Oh, man. I'm sure it does, man.
It's like 2 weeks ago. I was like, fuck, man, it just needs to hurry up. And now it's like, oh, fuck, we're less than 2 weeks away.
I can hardly contain myself.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You're getting down to crunch time, man. You better get that house clean.
Yeah.
You better, you know, get your sheets washed, bro. Like, they probably haven't been washed in months, right?
No, I'm very regimented about that. I'm very
Okay.
clean when it comes to my sheets, man.
Okay. All
Once
right.
a
I'll
week,
take your
bro.
word for it. I'll
Once
take your
a
word
week.
for it.
You know what time it is?
You know what? It's a good thing we had all that preparation because I'm aware of what time it is right now, and it's time for us to be aware dads.
Yeah.
And how we're going to be aware dads is our reading from the Daily Dad book. Today, we're going to be reading January 2nd. Never let them see you act like this. Starts off with a poem from Friedrich Nietzsche. We'll just say Friedrich N. I don't know his last name. I think of myself as a philosopher only in the sense of being able to set an example. There is a story in Seneca's famous essay, On Anger, about a boy who, at a very young age, went to live in the house of Plato to study under the famous philosopher. Returning home to visit his parents, the boy witnessed his father lose his temper and yell at someone. Surprised by this violent outburst, and with the simple innocence that children are capable of, the boy said, I never saw anyone at Plato's house act like that. However we conduct ourselves in front of our children, particularly at home, in private, they will come to see as normal. If we are rude or unkind to our spouse, they will assume that is an appropriate way to treat people that they love. If we are anxious and overly worried, they will come to think that the world is a scary place that must be feared. If we behave unethically or cynically, they too will begin to cheat and lie. It's crazy.
Dude, that kind of hits home for what I'm going through right now with my mental health.
Well, it should. I mean, I think it should hit home for a lot of people, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to even like the last reading where, you know, you have to be aware of that little one is always following you, you know, and in the same aspect, this is kind of the way that it is too.
Yeah.
You're implementing a philosophy in a child's mind that they're going to approach the rest of their lives with.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, that's that whole monkey see, monkey do aspect that you don't want to arise.
It just really goes to show how much kids look up to you, pay attention to you, you know, and they're so aware of you to the point that you're not aware of their awareness.
Oh yeah.
You know? And that's why we're trying to be aware dads.
Yeah. So tonight our topic is one fish, two fish. You know, going from one child to a second or more is said to be the hardest leap. You're now in a 1-to-1 ratio with your children at best. However, are there benefits to having multiple children for the betterment of the children, outside of just having built-in playmates? The other side of the token is exploring and navigating this modern world of dating with a child and the potential to make and start a new blended family. Delve with us into these questions as we try to explore them.
It's time for a data dump. Having more than one child is a steep battle for fathers alike, with amped up stressors already existing. I mean, we're talking work, finances, you know, relationships, all of that. Dude, it's already stressors. However, don't fret entirely, as there are huge benefits from having multiple children, from 2 children and up, from having 2 children and more. There was a study published in 2018 that investigates the influence of empathy in siblings, older and younger. Though it's seemingly common knowledge and common sense that older siblings and parents influence the younger ones, the study discovered profound evidence that younger siblings really contribute to the empathy of their older siblings. Over a longitudinal study, no year total that they admitted into the publishing, there were several interesting points. Firstly, the impact of the influence was greater when the age gap was larger between the siblings. Secondly, the guidance and teaching of the older sibling worked in 3 of the 4 potential sibling dynamics, with the dynamic of older sister, younger brother being the only sibling dynamic that was not significantly influenced by this.
You know what? That actually kind of gives me a bit of hope. You know, with having Addison and her being older and me not being with someone right now, or
well, if you have a younger brother, or if she has a younger brother, it's not going to influence them as much, if at all, compared to if you had a little sister, or if she had a little sister.
Yeah, but what I'm saying here is how the impact of influence was greater when the age gap was larger between siblings.
Yeah. No, it's encouraging.
You know, and it kind of gives me some hope here. Like, hey, you know, I always thought that I wanted my kids to be close in age.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, maybe it can actually impact them more than I thought.
And it helps you guys out. I mean, she could change diapers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
go change that diaper.
So
your turn.
Let's shift to the other portion of this topic. Despite the divorce rates dropping over a 10, even 15-year timeline, which we discussed in a previous episode, they still occur, and they still occur within families who have a child or children. As a single father who finds someone they're ready to settle down with and try to create a new blended family with, it's definitely a worthwhile topic in discussion. There was a study published in April of 2021 that analyzed step-siblings relationships and its acceptance in the new family. There are some key elements that this study had focused on. Those key elements in factoring the child's or children's acceptance came down to several things. Firstly, the need for fulfillment. Secondly, their age. Thirdly, their gender. And finally, their intrapsychic condition. So any disorders or mental illnesses, all those elements influence the integration of that.
Yeah.
Whether it's a new sibling that's going to be born, or whether it's a sibling, a soon-to-be sibling that already exists.
Yeah.
You know? It's and that's probably even tougher, quite honestly.
And that was our data dump.
And that was our data dump. So actually, we just talked about, you know, your blended family, and you know, you had an older sibling, a step sibling, and you have a younger, you know, full biological sibling.
Yeah.
You know, you being an older sibling, you have that experience under your belt. Knowing the significance of being the older sibling and what that plays in the empathetic development of your sibling, which is almost as significant as your influence.
Yeah.
You know, her influence on you, that is. How do you plan to guide Addie through those times when you do finally have your blended family? I mean, I do know you want, you know, you want to procreate, you want to create another family.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and furthermore, as a separated parent, how are you going to try to teach Addie when the time comes with her mom having a blended family?
Ooh, that's kind of tough, man. See, on my part, all right, so we'll start with this. On my ex-wife's part, it's kind of tough for me because I don't know how the relationship is, or if she is with someone, or whatever the case is. In my opinion, it all comes down to, you know, how that other, I guess, fatherly figure would be, how they act, how they raise their children.
Yeah.
You know, I think that kind of has a lot to do with the influence on that part. But because I don't actually get to like really engage with the situation and see what's actually going on, I can't really talk for them on how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I would hope that they obviously do it in a positive way, you know. Now with me, on the other hand, I mean, it's gonna be, dude, it's gonna be tender, it's gonna be loving. You know, I want her to be like, wow, this is my younger sibling, whether
Yeah.
boy or girl, blah blah blah. I want her to have that tender love and care that we had with her when we had her.
Yeah.
I want her to feel the same way, but with brotherly, sisterly love, whatever it's gonna be,
Yeah.
Dude, all I'm gonna try to do is just get her to be fun, protective, loving, all of that, Now, I know that you don't have the experience of being a single father, and I praise you for that. But dude, we all know how dating can be in this world today, My question to you is, in your opinion, when it comes to being a single father or a single mother, how do you think single parents should approach their said date about being a parent? How soon is too soon to talk about bringing said children around the significant other, or having children in the future with said significant other?
I can only put it into the perspective of if I were a kid, what I would want, because I don't have that experience. But, putting myself into my younger self shoes, if you will. And fortunately, I was raised with parents who, were married all through my childhood and to this day are still married. So, shout out mom and dad. So I think I would, once I got to a certain age of noticing when people were around or a person was around, I think it's important for me to also know it, because I'm part of my mom, or I'm part of my dad as much as they're a part of themselves.
Yeah.
We give up that identity, just like we discussed in the last episode about, we have to have that commitment to our children. A child isn't aware of that commitment, but they just only know mom and dad.
Yeah.
So I think quite honestly, early in my personal, that's just what I would want personally.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the approach, I would try to give any advice to somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, firstly, I would say I don't think I'm the best person to seek that advice from, but I think that being said, just really put yourself in your child's shoes, and age is going to be the biggest influencer for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure. And then how soon to, talk about bringing said children around their significant other. I think you just kind of got to feel out that relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel solid about that relationship, then go for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you feel as if there could be some shaky ground, you got to figure that out first.
Yeah.
Because again, putting myself into a child's shoes, into my younger self's shoes, I wouldn't want to be introduced to somebody and have them leave and then be introduced again to somebody else. It would almost just feel like, I don't know. That's just not what I would want for my child. So I think it's challenging, because you can't sit there and expect yourself to know if they're, how well a relationship is working or not.
Exactly.
It's tough.
And
it's really, really tough.
I mean, and you know that because I can speak from experience with the past relationship I had with we won't say any names, but you go and you feel that comfortability that you feel okay to bring your child around that person, and then the tables turn, bro.
Yeah.
And it's so tough on me as an individual, because it's like, well, shit, I trusted you,
Yeah.
Like I gave, that was me being vulnerable at that point.
You feel even more jaded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hard,
I give you credit, man.
Fucking hell.
I quite honestly, if I was, not that I ever want to be and ever think that I will be, but if I was ever in your shoes, I'd be damn near marrying a woman before I'd be introducing them to my kid, which kind of goes against what I want for my children. So it's I can see how conflicting that is. And, it kind of leads me to a question I have for you. Obviously, you're a single father.
Yeah.
Obviously you're beginning to grow a committed relationship. Has any looking at any of your past relationships, since leaving your ex and moving, obviously being a single dad, has there ever been a rift caused between you and a potential partner from the idea of having more children in the future and implementing Addie in that picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, there was. And I can honestly say that I had to step away from a few, I guess you could say opportunities I had. I mean, I don't think opportunities is the right word for it, but
A few avenues.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sad, because you go and you put your time and your effort into, you're just, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Like I am that person. If I'm talking to someone, dude, peripheral vision, blinded.
No, I respect
I'm
that.
focused on who I'm talking to and working on that relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And come to find out that they don't want to have any more kids, that's fucking tough. It goes
it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, because you think in your head, well, fuck, man, I'm tired of wasting time.
Yeah.
And it's not the fact that I feel like it's not the fact that I'm worried about wasting time. It's the effort that I put the fuck in. Like, why did I waste my time to put the effort in when you don't deserve it? You know what I mean?
You can say that, but at the same time, it's a lesson learned as well. A lesson learned. Yeah, kind of what I'm getting to is you're pulling something out of that relationship, as long or as short as it is, that helps you moving forward.
Yeah.
Like moving forward, now hey, you know what? Maybe next time I'm not going to wait as long to actually have that in-depth conversation, or, next time I know moving forward, I'm not going to give or budge or just accept an answer that I don't necessarily agree with or that I don't believe in, and hope that it changes in the future, because I do know people that have been like that, and that's not okay. You don't want to sacrifice yourself.
No.
You've learned that yourself, man. Make yourself a priority.
Yeah, and you see, and a lot of this is the one thing when you say make yourself a priority.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to take offense to that, because then they're going to go and are going to call you selfish.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, when it comes down to that, when it's your life and if it's something you want in your life, be fucking selfish, bro.
You have that right to be.
It's your life.
You have that right to happiness.
Exactly.
So make yourself a priority.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that, bro. Make yourself a priority.
I am.
And that's why we're here.
Okay, so I kind of circle back a little bit here with, my second question. Kind of brings it back to talking about, the blended family question that you had.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to bring to your attention is, with me being a single father and bringing my daughter into a new relationship.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to be raising children with a blended family, whether the new partner has children already or a new one is brought into the equation? Do you think it's going to be difficult for me trying to introduce Addie to the new idea of things?
I don't think it's going to be difficult. I just think it's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be difficult. I think it's just in the way that you handle it. Yeah. I think as I said earlier, if I were to put myself into a child's shoes, they don't need to be involved in the every intricate part of a relationship between two adults.
Yeah.
But I do think when you are trying to create a blended family, they deserve some weight. And I think that,
they're a priority too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know we just said make yourself a priority, but you have to make yourself a priority so you're better for your actual priority.
Yeah.
Which is your children.
Yeah, exactly.
As fathers, that's our priority, is our children.
And that's the tough thing, because I don't want to say the priorities is the tough thing, but I don't want my kids to think that, like, I have Addison now, right? Mm-hmm. And in the future, when I have more children, I don't want the younger siblings to go and think that, daddy's favorite's the one that he brought into this relationship. You know what I mean?
Or the other way around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I know that I had one before, and yes, I love her, and I will always love her, and yes, she's my favorite, but my kids will always be my favorite.
Look, dude,
whether you're my first, my last, middle, whatever the fuck you are,
The only insight I have on this is having two children, and you're still actually confronted with that fear of, God forbid, what if I show some more affection toward Bridget
The jealousy.
And Declan gets jealous.
Yeah.
Or what if I show more affection toward Declan and Bridget gets jealous? And you know what? That happens.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. But you have to continue to spend that time and put that effort. What you have with your children is a relationship. Every
Exactly.
relationship needs work.
Yeah, and you see, that's the other thing, too. A lot of people think that jealousy can be a negative thing. It's not always negative. Jealousy can actually build a relationship as well.
Jealousy.
It's
Jealousy is I believe it's a secondhand emotion.
yeah,
And it stemmed from something that somebody's lacking.
yeah, exactly.
So we as fathers, we need to, as aware fathers now,
Yeah.
as we're getting aware, we need to be aware that jealousy is actually not just because they're jealous of somebody spending time. They're actually just wanting to spend more time.
Yeah, they want that. They
Exactly.
want that affection.
And
they want that love.
is there a bit of like over jealousy? Absolutely. That
Yeah.
will occur. It does occur, and it can occur.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the end of the day, there's still, there's truth to their feelings.
yeah.
So as kind of redundant, as much as we need to make ourselves a priority, we need to make all of our children a priority, whether it's 1 or 7.
Yeah.
So, God, 7, man, that would be tough. That would be really tough. That would be fucking tough. When you kind of going back to the approval aspect, and having how much weight you provide your kids in a relationship and forming a blended family.
Yeah.
We also, from our data dump, learned that siblings, adult siblings can clearly have influenced things.
Yeah.
So, like in your life now, how much weight do you put into the approval from your sister? When do you even seek her approval? And what about the approval from Addie? And has there been any relationships that either of the two of them have strongly recommended you end because of one reason or another?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
There was a few actually. Yeah, no. I mean, there was a few times where, not just my sister, but other family members as well.
Yeah.
Were saying, we really think you should get away from this situation. It's not good for you, and it's not good for Addie.
Yeah.
And it's tough to realize that you have to be the one to come to that conclusion.
You do.
You can't. I mean, yes, it's nice to have the family, the weight of family, to be like, what the fuck you doing?
Well, they're not making the decisions for you, but
it's not also the fact that they're not making the decisions for you. It's you have to realize the decisions you're making, because sometimes, like I said, those blinders are on, bro, and you're
laser focused, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's tough to get out of that funk. Now, when you and Jill found out that you guys were pregnant with Briggs,
Mm-hmm.
did you guys have any worry about breaking the news to Declan about being a big brother? If you guys plan on having a third one, do you think it's going to be easier or harder with breaking the news to them, since there will be a new child and Briggs would be the middle child?
It wasn't that difficult. He was, she was born in 2021. So he was just turning 3 when she was born, and he was maybe 2.5 when we realized, hey, we got another baby in the oven here. So I guess to answer your question, the first part of the question, no, we weren't too worried. I mean, we had concerns because we just didn't know. We didn't know. It was our first time, obviously, telling our son, hey, you're going to be a big sibling. Did he ever get it? No, I don't think he did until the baby came out. And I think moving forward, we've had discussion. Like, we definitely want a third child.
Yeah.
And our kids are aware that, in the future, Declan has already said before that he wants another little sister and another little brher, or he wants a little brother. And I'm like, well, you got to slow that down, buddy. You can only pick one right now because, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
what are you guys gonna do if you have twins?
It doesn't run on either family side.
It don't matter.
So
It can happen.
it doesn't run on either family side. It's
It can
not
happen.
It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But I do think it'll be easier when we break the news, because I think when it occurs, I think Declan, he'll be excited about it. And I think Bridget's going to kind of follow suit with that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, not for nothing, she does everything he does, and she plays with babies now. She likes to take care of things. I
Good.
think she's going to be excited for that.
Good.
So I think moving forward, it's going to be a very pleasant experience for everybody.
The only reason I ask is because majority of the time, I know it wasn't in our data dump, but there's a high percentage of middle children that get, I don't want to say pushed to the wayside.
There is an actual middle child
syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a legit thing. And that's the only reason I ask is because, that could be a worry, but at the same time, the way you're explaining things seems like it's going to be a good outcome. Especially because of how close Bridget and Declan are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sometimes they
that's good, man.
They will fight, and then 5 minutes later, they're just having the best time ever, giggling and laughing. So it's just typical sibling. It's crazy. And that kind of brings us to our resolution. As fathers, be it single or committed, we always strive to make the best for our children in any and every way possible. Regardless of your views on how many children you want, it always comes down to your own interactions with your own children and your partner that ultimately guides and teaches your children. Despite what the data dump and the focus on that was and the stats, it's clear that we as parents are the biggest influencers to our own children. So whether you and your partner are exploring expanding your family, or you're a single parent, single father looking to start a new blended one, your children should be partially involved in the ultimate decision.
Exactly.
So it's about that time for us to get into our, mucky shit-uations this week, bro. I'm excited because the first one is labeled "The Bitch Is Back." So you got me hyped up, man. And this is a throwback. This is 2009. So I hope it's a good one.
The Bitch Is Back by That Sucks from February of 2009 in the United Kingdom. It says, "Today, my husband dropped me off at work. 10 minutes later, I got a text saying, 'I just dropped the bitch off. I'll be there in a few, baby. I miss you.' I later asked him about it. He said, 'Megan, I have no idea what you're talking about. My name isn't Megan. Not even close.'
Yo,
FML.
what if like she sits here and says FML? What if it's just like he's just pissed off with her and he's just deciding to be a toxic asshole,
starting shit,
dude? Oh my god, oh man. But then again, you make that self-incriminating evidence no matter what you do. You know what I'm saying? He could. Oh man, you done fucked yourself. Even if you did try to fuck her up.
Yep.
Well, sorry, buddy. You shouldn't be cheating on your wife.
This next one doesn't have a label, but it's by Gentile Man.
Gentile Man.
Gentile Man. That's a typo, bro. Back in March of 2009.
Or you mentioned
States.
Atelia.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's a spicy one. It says, "Today I texted my college boyfriend to tell him how terrible I felt about cheating.
What?
He replied saying he was so relieved because he had been cheating on me with a girl in his dorm. I was talking about my math exam."
Bro. I have nothing to say. Damn.
This next one is by Thanks Kimmy in March of 2009. In the United States, it says, "Today my first girlfriend of over 3 years left me for another guy. She said she's looking for someone who can financially provide for her in the future. The dude owns a T-Mobile kiosk. I'm going to medical school."
Oh, man.
Sorry about your luck, bro, but hey, you dodged a bullet.
Ah, man. That ain't no FML. That's,
Life
BML.
lessons.
Bless my life, bro.
Yeah, right?
Shit. Woo. Dude, I don't know why you posted it up on the internet, man, but let's just, speaking of the internet, where you can find our stuff at is Facebook, facebook.com/thedadtapes. You can find us on Instagram at the Dad Tapes Podcast. You can actually find us on the X, previously known as Twitter, which is now the X at the Dad Tapes. And we're on TikTok now. So
we sure
you can
are.
actually find us on TikTok at Dad Tapes Podcast. But no matter where it is you find us at, the social media platforms or where you listen to us at, just like, subscribe, share, and leave a review of the show. Show us the love.
Dude, let me ask you a question, bro.
What's up?
You know, when you go and you take the trash out, when you're done taking the trash out, do you put a bag back in the trash or you just start throwing the shit in the container? Do you rewind your fucking tapes before you put them back
I
in
told
the
you,
box,
I stop. I'll watch the full Lion King movie and I'll rewind it back to the point to where he just falls off that cliff. I'm that guy,
dude.
I'm that guy.
Dude, you guys really need to start rewinding these fucking
Don't
tapes,
take
bro.
after me.
It's like throwing trash in a fucking trash can without a trash bag in it.
Imagine like corn cobs at the bottom.
Oh, God.
They stink, dude.
Fucking shrimp tails.
Seafood.
Shrimp
Oh. Man, before I vom, man, I gotta get going. Peace, guys.
Later.